we'll make a start anyway in absentia. In absentia.
So we're there at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
Gives you an
no.
opportunity. Right.
Have you got another pen? Where?
Like pen for I'd like to start, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start, we have George. I forgot to ask. Do you need to say anything?
No.
Thank you. We have two members of the public who would like to address the council. Alphabetical order.
That'll be me first then.
Mr. Brown. Thank you.
Do I stand up? I stand on the chair, or do I?
You can stand up if you wish. I would say to you that our meetings are filmed.
Mm-hmm.
The camera was there, so you won't necessarily be on camera,
Okay.
but it is on video,
Mm-hmm.
and it will go live on YouTube. So if you
Brilliant.
wish to prove that you were here tonight, it will be proven.
Okay.
We normally would limit it to about 2 or 3 minutes,
That's
please.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll kick off. I am here to talk about the proposed travellers site in Battersborough Lane. I live next door in Battersborough Farm. The news has come as quite a shock to myself, my wife and her family, and I just wanted to kind of lodge the thoughts that we are against the proposed site. For reason of Battersborough Farm is a Grade 2 listed house.
Sorry.
Okay. Grade 2 listed house. Paul and his wife and family live behind us in Castle Falls Barn. When that was converted, there were certain restrictions around the kind of development and the kind of property you could develop within the curtilage of Grade 2 listed house. From what I can see in the plans, there's no respect for that. In terms of the area, I don't think a traveller's site is probably conducive to the character of Battersborough Lane. And from a personal perspective, my wife and I and our 5 children moved into Battersborough Farm about 18 months ago. At that point, there was no talk of having a traveller's site next door, and obviously that would have probably made us reconsider our decision. Having said that, we were of the intention to live there. That was our forever home. With this proposal, we are seriously considering or reconsidering our position, but also it's a bit of a catch-22 because who would want to buy a home next door to a traveller's site? So we are kind of pretty upset about this and just wanted to come here. We've already lodged our opposition on the Sedgemoor site, and I contacted the planning team via email earlier this week, and it was suggested it would be good to come here and just kind of state this face to face, really. So that's what I'm doing.
Thank you for that. I will just explain our role in this. We are a consultee, not a discussing body.
I get that, yeah.
So basically, Sedgemoor will contact us on any aspects of planning that have impacts on Brent Knoll, and we put in comments which we will debate later. Paul, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I understand Brent Knoll is an area of national outstanding beauty, and I don't think that big caravans on that site are going to be conducive to that area. I don't want, well, I've lived next door to them for 20 odd years plus, and to be honest, Sam hasn't caused me any problems, but I don't really fancy 3 families there who can be transient and keep coming and going, just because I don't think it's very conducive to the area.
Thank you. Any comments that we make, I could just say, or reiterate, are based on planning constraints only. You know, we can't say we don't like, we don't feel, we don't this. It has to be based upon planning constraints.
You've got a set of rules and regulations you've got to follow, and that's what you're going to follow.
That's what we have to do, unfortunately.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Thank you for that. You're welcome to sit and listen to our debate later on. But once we go into council mode, no interruptions, please.
Okay.
even if you might say, oh, thank you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll make a start on our meeting. Can we have apologies for absence, please?
Yes, Councillor Malcolm Borland, he's got some family issues to attend to, so he's asked for his apologies to be accepted.
Thank you.
I assume they are.
Can we have declarations of any pecuniary or personal interest, please? Bob?
Yeah, a couple. The normal Sedgman Somerset issues, personal interest, if they come anything to do with the council, because of my position on those councils. On the planning application for 7/17/20, again, it's to avoid predetermination, but on 7/17/22, it's personal, prejudicial and pecuniary because it's my next door neighbour.
Personal on 20 and 22, please, because I live in Battleborough Lane.
Andrea?
The same, because my adjoining fields, I believe, are on the boundary.
On 20. Or on 22.
20.
Just
Oh,
on
no,
20.
it's not.
Yes. Yeah, just on 20.
So you're declaring personal interest on that?
Any others? David, you're right. Right, you've all had a copy of the last meeting's minutes. Can we accept them as a true and accurate record, please? Can I have a vote in a proposal that they are accepted? Those in favour, thank you. I will sign.
Yes, you voting on my bill.
Thank you. There's those on it. Right then, moving on to planning applications. So the first one is 7/17/0020, which is a change of use of land to create a travellers caravan site comprising 3 pitches. Now, you have an opportunity to see the plans online, and we do have copies of the plans over there. Has anybody got any comments at this stage, please?
And I have,
So,
just that when we had an application to build houses in the field on the end of Brent Street, all manner of people were against it because it was bad exit and it was on the A38. And it's going to be the same there for, well, having said that, I don't know how. It's all according to what they're up to, isn't it? If you've got lorries coming in and out there.
John?
I'm entirely in sympathy with the views of our 2 visitors. I think it is totally inappropriate development on that site. Then I can look at some of the other planning matters. I think it is totally inappropriate.
John, so Colin?
Mr. Chairman, bear in mind we must give material planning
Yes.
considerations. We can't manufacture things that we believe are not right. It's got to be viewed planning wise, and if we are going to, if you like, reject this application or indeed approve it, we need to give appropriate reasons. My planning consideration in this is the impact and character on the landscape. I do not believe that it is appropriate in this particular location, purely for the impact and character on the landscape. I think also there is probably a layout and density problem in that I don't believe that that small area can afford 3 homes with 6, 8 or 12 people inhabiting that area with 6 or 8 vehicles going in and out of there. So I would again say layout and density is not right. I don't think it's in the character of the landscape just below Brent Knoll. I think that is a visibility problem, and I also think that the sheer, I think I've referred to layout and density, but it goes also with the traffic generation in that tight access on a very busy road. I don't believe that it's appropriate, and those are legitimate planning considerations.
Did you put your hand up?
No, I would agree with what Colin's just said. Put it very well.
On the Sedgemoor site, there are at least two objectors, over and above what we've heard today, from consultees, rather than affected neighbours, as it were. One is environmental, and I have to say they haven't answered that question, which is what's going to happen to any waste.
Yes.
And the other one was electric power to the site. And I don't know whether there is any electric power, because the other concern from an environmental planning issue would be noise if they then started to use generators. So I think we've got several issues of planning that we would have to query, and Colin's alluded to. Bella?
I think it is, as Colin said, I think it's overdevelopment of the site.
Yeah.
I believe one family's there at the moment, but with 3 families there, or 3 mobile caravans, and a day room for each of them, and their vehicles, the site is not big enough for that.
So, can we have a proposal, please, and how we wish to proceed?
I would propose that the Parish Council reject this application on the grounds of layout and density of the property, traffic considerations with the sheer volume of traffic there. In terms of impact and character on the landscape, it is not in keeping with the view of Brent Knoll and its visibility aspect, and also, as you've alluded to, Mr. Chairman, the problems with maybe odour or the sheer impact upon
At environmental
issues. Yeah.
Potential.
Thank you.
There's also overdevelopment as well, that was mentioned. That's all, and I agree with that. And I would second all of that, I'm quite happy to second it.
There is another issue that Brent Knoll is full of properties that are open to everyone. And usually when you get a traverse site, it's closed up and they're like a sort of penal colony. Nobody's allowed in there, there's dogs roaming. Not considered
Unfortunately, I don't think that's a planning issue.
Predict that, can we?
But on the basis of what Colin,
It's not a planning consideration.
on the basis of what Colin has proposed, John is prepared to second it. Can we have a show of hands?
Unanimous?
So that's unanimous. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can I just say that if we have now rejected this and it goes to committee, we should be capable of making representation at that meeting.
Yeah.
And someone, I mean, I don't mind helping them, I don't mind going down with some support, but we need to turn up and put our case.
Yes, agree with that.
And that goes for every planning
Yeah,
application.
well, I think we agreed that last time, Colin, so
Okay.
yeah, I think as a
No,
principle going forward, if we object and it's a, and we would obviously make our presence felt.
So do you want to make a decision now? Because obviously once the application comes through, once the development committee sends the agenda, do you want to actually put names forward?
No,
Do you
I
know
think
when the
we'll
meeting is?
deal with that at the time.
December.
It's
Well,
December.
We'll deal with that at
But at this stage, would it because we've objected, will it automatically go through committee?
Yes.
I would think so. I would have thought so.
Well, if it's in December
I would have thought it'd been December.
and Colin's prepared to go, I'd be perfect prepared to go and support him. Depending on the date,
Yeah, it depends on the date.
I'm afraid, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can we,
I'll get Andrew on that.
I'm sure there should be a substitute in that one. Do you need to disappear? You need to
No,
disappear.
no, because I can't see even on the back of the room.
Okay, but this one, the bungalow.
No, I can't see.
Mr Chairman,
Sorry.
Mr Chairman, are we allowed to come along to this meeting that you're proposing to go to?
Yes, what we're talking about, sorry, for your information, Sedgemoor will have a planning committee meeting at which they will go through any planning applications within Sedgemoor for which they have to agree at committee. And at that stage, any member of the public has a right to go there and has a right to make a case, but you would need to do it through the planning officer. A number of planning applications the decision can be made by the planning officer themselves. But where there are certain issues raised, then it will go to committee. And I can't guarantee this will go to committee, but I would say 99% sure that it will because we've raised an objection.
Colin Arne was the case officer for that particular one. Colin Arne.
Mr Chairman,
Are we?
for your information, the planning committee meets, if you like, once every, I think it's every 2 weeks, I've got a feeling it is. And the details of each planning application that go to appeal are published in detail well before the meeting. So you have the opportunity to read the case officer's report. Now, you've got to read the case officer's report before you go, and you also need to prepare a statement that does not last longer than 3 minutes because you will be timed, okay? So you can present your case then, and that's what we would have to do to show our objections. So it's up to you to keep in touch with the website and Sedgemoor District Council to see what's happening.
Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to find out. Thank you.
Right. Moving on then to 7174022,
Thank you for your time.
which is the confused planning in Portland Place. And I suspect that either the plans are being drawn the wrong way around or photographed around them, and they've been, certainly one of them's been annotated wrong. Incorrectly, I should say, not wrong. The issue, as I understand it, that's the bungalow. They want to build to the front, and the person, there is a complaint on the website, is from there saying that there's a window in this bit, which will, a new window is proposed, which will look into their bedroom. But as far as I could see, most of the plan is for the front of the structure, not the rear.
There's one there, I think. Yeah.
Well, the base plan, which shows the additional development on the base plan, doesn't tally up with the proposed changes. It doesn't look right at all.
The plans, there is something wrong with the plans, and I can't put a finger on it.
Well, if those plans don't marry up to the base plan, because there's development at the back and doesn't
That's
sound
what you're worried about, isn't it?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I think the base plan is the existing plan and the proposed plans. One is showing development at the front, and then it seems to apparently be also showing something at the rear.
Yes, agree.
And this is what I can't
But it
understand.
only requests
Rear.
the front, doesn't
So
it? It
where's
says
the
it's
new
front.
rear?
Northwest elevation.
Where's the new rear?
So that's the
Existing.
That's the proposed elevation.
Yeah, those existing rears, and they're both, are they the drawing rooms the same?
No, different. There's two windows
Six.
there.
Yeah. Mr Chairman, what it looks like is, proposed. It looks to me, they've got existing rear elevation, with proposed roof lights. So you have in fact got roof lights on the rear elevation, which presumably the people in next door.
Those are the ones they're
Look,
talking
this
about.
is the existing rear elevation, proposed roof lights, and they've got they've got a new window there, a bigger window
At the
there.
front
There's
of the
also
back
this
column.
thing, this,
There's that bit, Colin.
Yeah,
come
no,
on, this
I know.
bit which is
Well,
being
it says
added on.
existing rear elevation.
Yeah, and that can't be existing. If
Can't
that's
be
got
No,
Can we
That's right.
say?
That is
proposed
existing,
are-
that says existing.
Yeah, yeah.
The
So
development
this-
Is that a
which
reason
is
to
that.
give off-
Not a reason, but we can say.
You see where we're coming from there?
Yeah, I would suggest to you that
drawings
we
back.
can reject this on the grounds of architectural and detailing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you don't understand it.
Hmm,
But it's-
I agree.
It is.
It's no good.
See, that's the window, I suspect, is that one. Because that's the existing, that's the existing ground door.
And the existing side elevation
See
they've
the
Roof lights as
proposed
well.
front there is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is proposed
I
front.
said it was on the
And that's
front.
the front of it coming in.
Now this looks to me, the existing rear, that doesn't have that.
I think that drawing's wrong, Colin.
This appears to all
So we didn't
added on.
didn't pick it up. And this, where's the other thing? That's it there. It says there's no development.
Go to the next one,
There is,
Owen.
but it's not shown. on the-
Existing elevation.
Yes.
Because it's
No,
in the height.
No.
yeah,
I just
Yeah.
find it very strange.
yeah, that's the actual extension.
The existing-
But they're reaching.
The existing rear, yes, well, agreed, because on the other one,
Colin,
you have got
plans at the bottom.
well, you've got
That's different as
another
well.
peaked roof there,
That's right.
develops
Correct.
there.
Yeah, that's the rear elevation
But
there.
it's different on,
Correct, that's what we're saying. The rear elevation, is that existing? Does it
That
say-
is existing,
Well, it says existing rear elevation here with with another apex.
but I'm not, because on there, that is existing rear, which actually that conforms with that.
Yeah, no, but this
And
is,
therefore, that's proposed, and they're going to add on.
this should be proposed
Yes,
rear
that's right.
elevation.
That's right.
And because they've got proposed new roof, proposed roof lights.
But the application was for a front extension.
Yes.
I don't think it mentioned the rear.
no, it didn't mention the rear.
But it's all,
But it's,
And
new
yeah,
gable end, there's new lights in the roof.
yes.
So there's a lot more than they're saying then.
Well, if the neighbours are objecting against regarding windows and being overlooked,
Yeah.
then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 additional windows.
So
And
they
you've
have
got
every reason
windows.
to
They're
object.
shutting to them. Oh, but they'll have to do that because they're building.
That's existing, proposed and existing.
Well, the description of the front extension.
In terms of layout, that's proposed and existing.
Well, that says rear elevation,
Yeah,
that should be
it
proposed front.
Something.
In fact, it's not even proposed front because that's the front elevation.
but I don't think the plans are correct.
No,
Or there's
they're not.
there's something erroneous somewhere.
Well,
There's
we can object to it on the grounds of design,
And also,
detailing.
if there's a window at the
Detailing,
rear,
isn't it?
if there are new windows at the rear, we'll be overlooking a loss of privacy.
So loss of privacy, is that a,
Loss of privacy is
Yes.
residential amenity.
yeah, loss of privacy?
Yeah, I think we can go for that.
And
Detailing.
detailing the plans.
Yes.
Should we point that out? Incorrect detailing the plans. I mean, what is wrong?
I know. The people who work there,
But this is even,
It's got to leave it as it is. It is surrounded. You might keep it down.
yeah, but it's still, the plans are not.
But they still are, isn't that lane on the edge?
So at the moment, we've got a proposal based on, to object, I suspect, on the grounds of,
Loss of privacy and residential amenity and incorrect detailing on the plans.
Yeah.
So are you proposing that?
Yeah.
Hold on, Brian and John.
okay, all those in favour? Thank you. Can we ask, Bob and whoever? Only Bob.
No, I keep them because obviously then they'll get lost.
We're going to keep them.
I can't keep them green.
You want all those back again?
It's a matter for you. I mean, I think Colin produced them originally for members to have when we're discussing plans. But I think there was a concern that they might get sort of lost eventually if they're not there. I'll keep some of them. I'll keep some of them. If Richard keeps yours, because Richard, you tend to look at plans, don't you? So if you keep yours.
Cynthia,
Yes.
have you got a copy of that?
Sorry.
So you keep yours, Cindy, because you're planning anyway, so if you keep your copy of that, and I'll keep the spares.
Okay. Right, I may have one actually, but I'll be yours.
Updated plan list for information on it?
No, give them back, because, well, I have them, but I don't need them, unless you want to keep them.
That's what we get to.
Next board meeting has been sent.
That's the only
It's
one.
in you.
So we can get rid of that.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Certainly can.
Well, that's totally confusing.
Very.
Peter, anything on footpaths, please?
Yes, the gate is still in my garden, we're waiting for that. Owen says he's been in contact with Premier Fencing. On the walk around the reservoir, several times we've noticed water running out of the reservoir across the footpath. But the last time I was up there, it wasn't running. I think it's something to do with the height of the water in the reservoir. It's finding a way out across the footpath. It's eking, eroding the footpath away. I wondered if we could contact Wessex Water and ask them if they could do something about it.
Yeah.
Is there an overflow mechanism up there?
Well, I don't know.
Could something like jammed a ballcock or something simple like that, you know?
Yeah. Colin can tell you a bit more about it, but he spoke to Wessex Water.
I've reported it to the Wessex Water guy and said you ought to have a look at it because it is flowing. It's not just, it's not just a pool, and it's clearly spoiled the path, which has never been muddy in all the years I've been walking around there. So clearly there's either an overflow or seeping out from there.
It's blocked, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that it's been investigated and sorted it out, so it means that we've got a footpath now we have to walk through sort of mud and water.
I think we should write to Wessex Water.
So a letter is probably appropriate.
I think so.
Ask them to do the footpath from the other side.
No, is it?
It'd be Bristol water.
Bristol's.
That's okay.
Anything else on footpath, business?
Is it appropriate to mention the letter we had from Philip Bowles?
Yeah, I've listed that, some of the ongoing matters that there were there, and that was Philip Bell, which obviously, that is now being dealt with.
Right.
It's been done.
Yeah, it's been done.
Yeah.
They've got, I have to say, they've been the quickest I've ever known anybody react. I mean, I spoke to them that last Friday,
Yeah.
And it's done already.
Posts have done it.
Mm.
Yeah. Down Bodies Lane and along
Yeah.
towards the first gate.
So that's good.
All been
Maybe
Good. That's done.
Very good.
All the mud.
I think this is probably more highways than footpaths, but the gas box now, as far as I know, has all been cleared, so that's been dealt with. Crooked Lane, I'm not sure, has that been done?
No, not yet.
Right, okay.
It's being shut on the 6th.
Right.
Yeah, next Monday. So you're on the other side of the carnival.
Colin, there the conversation with the cows on the knoll, that email that sort of went, is that all sort of cleared up now?
Yeah, Julie's perfectly happy.
Right, okay, that's
Thank
fine.
you.
In terms of highway reports, I guess in Malcolm's absence, has anybody got any comments on? Everybody's got comments on highways. Bella?
Roger's had an email from a chappie that does speed watch, and he's saying that he can get these, you have to buy them, these notices, if you'd like to pass it around, to have on the beginning of the village, you know, the exit entry of the village. They cost £40 each, you have to get permission for them. As he said, Mendip area currently have them in there, and he thinks, you know, with the lack of people doing it, it might be a good idea to
I think
exercise.
we need 1, 2, if that is the case, we need at least 3, if not 5.
Yes, probably. Yeah.
Well, you're coming in from East Brent,
Having said that, we've got to get permission to
from
do
whom?
Right, would it be highway?
County highways.
County highways.
So the
Roger.
best thing would be then to get the permissions first before we order.
Yeah, yeah.
So can we just have an agreement that in principle, should we or
Do you
should
think
we
it's a
not
good
have these
idea
signs?
or not?
How many?
Well, coming in from East Brent, coming in from that way, coming in from the Station Road, West Road and Wick Lane. That's 4.
What do you think, Rob?
I would suggest we only do Barrow on both ends of the village. It's coming up from next week.
See, we probably do.
You don't get the speeding track issues.
I would disagree with my learned colleague.
Okay, then the people that come up through Wick will see that I'm coming back and go home.
I mean, I saw 2 actual evidence of boy races the other day. Deliberately racing cars.
You aren't going to stop those people, are you?
No, but I'm just saying, it does happen.
Yeah.
But coming down from Wick Lane, what about Station Road? You need one Station Road on? There's more traffic.
It is the going.
Two were on one on Barrow and one from East Brent, one from...
So that's right.
Well, that's what I propose.
So you're
But
saying...
as a point of principle, we should have the signs.
Yes, you said.
So the next stage is to get the permission, work out how we get the permission before we order them.
I'll look at that, see what I can...
And also, it does say the first step is to test the demand. So perhaps I can ask you if you're interested, and if you are, what number required, and then we can find out how long it will take.
What, to get the signs?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Well, we've got to get permission.
shall I get the permission? Shall I deal with the permission side of it?
Yeah.
Find out what we need to do and what we need to provide.
Roger has got 2 big yellow ones with black writing, but they're not as effective as that.
Okay.
That is quite effective.
How big are they, though?
I believe that 30 mile an hour sign at the far end of the village is still obscured by foliage.
Jason has tried to deal with that, actually, but
Yeah.
stopped in his tracks.
Well,
So he could do no more.
Like the owner?
He got to work on it, and he was told in no uncertain terms to leave it alone. So,
that's not on, is it?
but Jason couldn't do anything about it because clearly, you know, he's only a contractor. He can't.
Well, I'll go up at 3 o'clock in the morning and do it then.
Was it the householder that told him he couldn't?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought...
It's nothing to do with the household,
No.
surely.
If it's
Got to make
a
sure
30 mile an hour
it's
sign, it's the highways.
There is now a white line from the Methodist Church going down Narrow Bend to Abbey Castle. I don't know if there's one at Exeter House, is there? Station Road.
Potholes, we've brought it up before, been up recently, and Colin knows there's the pothole on Hill Lane at the top by the farm, it's still there.
And it'll probably remain there from the conversations I've had with the county. They're just not very inclined to be potholes.
The criteria for potholes has got bigger.
Very thin.
Disappearing.
So I will raise it yet again, but
I've checked the salt box at the top of the land farm, but I could do with somebody checking the one at the top of the church before the winter comes.
sort of like to check.
And then if it's empty, we get them to the one at the top.
We can check that on Saturday, John. salt box near the church. Is it near the church, the salt box?
Yeah.
Well, I thought highways were responsible for it. They could presumably
I'll
check salt boxes.
I'll check. It's just that.
Don't they usually inform you and tell you they're going to fill them?
We normally get a winter sheet from the highways.
Oh, right,
Anything else on highways, please?
Has the comments, the signage, Hill Lane signage been replaced yet? You know where you're going to Hill Lane from?
Hill Lane is a new one.
There should be a new sign there.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like on
Yeah.
the two
Yeah.
poles on the spot.
The street sign.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Then I'll tick off the list. Okay. Right. Probably on there, actually, yeah.
They've also replaced the Brent Street one, it's missing the West Cross sign.
Who did the village green? David, you're
I
on.
forgot the book,
Yeah, you forgot the work.
which is a disaster. But generally it was pretty good. The grass was long and it's even longer now. But I suppose that's time of year, normally it doesn't grow as much, so it doesn't cut it as often. I don't know how they set for that. The odd bramble around the edge of the green. Toilets all fine. The hot tap or the cold tap, I can't remember whichever one's been reported to home before, and the lady stays on too long. Someone told me about it then.
George was the plumber went to
Yeah.
look at it, and he said it can't be altered. They're set on a predetermined time,
Yeah,
and you can't change them.
that's how it is.
So he said we can get a whole new unit, but you couldn't change the existing one. So he did look at it. Actually.
Which is more expensive.
Well, I imagine so. Yeah.
Around the car park was a bit of a mess, but that's since been tidied because I've been out and sprayed and loaded the leaves and whatever. So not too bad.
So we're still awaiting some other. Sorry.
Can I just ask the frequency of cutting of the village green?
That's
Because
what I wondered.
it's
seems to be in the
always
book.
long.
It's
It
always in the
always seems
book.
long. And as somebody commented, you can't, the kids can't really play football and grass that
Not at the
long.
moment.
It starts to reduce because what Jason actually does when he gives us a new contract or he agrees a contract, it's so many cuts per year, and of course he slants that towards the summer season. So we could increase the number of cuts over the whole year, which means that it would spread more evenly across the year. So that could be done if we wanted it to do so, and obviously that would increase the costs. But that's a matter for the
We might
council.
have to consider it for the green.
Yeah, I
because it always
think
seems-
probably we should maybe monitor it next season and to see, because it always seems long whenever you go there.
Is it?
It's always seems
Yeah.
long.
Well, maybe maybe it's to do to with the fact that it's supposed to be getting warmer, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, we've had a very
Yeah.
strong
Grass growing
growth
for longer.
season.
There are two issues, I believe, on the basis of my own experience with our grass. Jason is now using a mulching mower, and if you use mulching mowers, you're effectively refertilising the grass, which
Feeding
means
grass.
it grows quicker. But at the moment, I'm led to believe that grass will continue to grow until the temperature reaches 4 degrees. And I have to say, ours is growing. I mean, ours could do with cutting almost twice a week still at the moment.
How much is an hour of ground? 50.
Are you sure?
Yes, tomorrow, I'm going to tell them tomorrow.
Yes.
Right, that question.
Blow your whistle.
Okay.
As we come to look at the precept discussions, obviously in December, you might want to have a look at the contract from Jason to see whether we want to do anything with that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think the village green is a showcase to the village.
Yeah.
How many cuts are?
I think it's about 20. I think it's 20 over a year. I think about 26 a year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Gosh.
I think he does do the odd one more.
Yeah, I think he probably does squeeze a few in.
Yeah.
But I will get that clarified to make sure that still is the case.
But this time of the year, I don't know what it's like here. Our grass is so wet in the morning. We could do it.
We nearly specified picking it up this time of year for the winter, get it as low as you can and pick it up, because once you've got that last bit of...
No, Rob's thinking of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Grandad always said you always leave the last cut and leave the first cut.
Alright. Alright. What does he know?
So at the moment, all we can do
Well, you
is...
should see that he knows an awful lot more than I perhaps
Chairman, it wasn't particularly on the grass cutting, but again, it's on the village green. Out the front of the public toilets, the area which has sunken past
Yes.
has sunk quite badly again.
Yes, it has.
And also there's a similar point that's sunk next to the bench out the front, both need filling in.
Is that the asphalt area rather than the
No.
grass?
none of the dogs have got
What was
there.
that other area that needed attending? I got the something in front of the toilet block.
It's near the bench,
Where the
on the other
notice
side of
board
it, of the, yes,
Those bits
just behind the notice board.
And also on the green matters, when we were here, because I stayed for the parish surgery, there was a dog, someone going out on the green with a dog to use it as a toilet. So Andrew
Reminding
did shoot
them,
out.
Andrew has authority to
Did
do
you
that.
did you go and moan at them? And it was one of the dog trainers, I guess.
Oh, I didn't know.
There's a lot of dogs here this afternoon.
There was quite a lot of dog mats around the toilet.
But they thought that they wouldn't like to go on the green, but they felt that this piece out here didn't belong to the green. And that it was okay to come and use that. So they said no.
Anything else on the village green? We've got some ongoing issues.
Well, if I just run through some of them, David Welland obviously has got to complete the replacement wood in front of that bench and the green. He's got to remove the 4 posts, the redundant posts. He's got to remove the 2 wooden posts and replace them, the ones that have been stained, just behind the armco. His plan is to do them first week in November, so whether that's this week or next week I'm not sure, but that's the plan. He's got us listed for that time scale. And take away the start, that's right. So all that is in hand with David, so by the time we get to the ceremonies, that should all be done, hopefully. Just looking at other things here, pressure washing has now been completed. I haven't heard anything from cost and it's been sent an invoice, but anyway, the job has been done. John has got the signage completion for the blue sign, which has now got a contact detail on it, which is over there. So that's now been completed. Andy Selway has completed his job on the play equipment and completed the painting, which we've now looked at, and it seems all to be now okay and in order. Chain linking fence behind the rear of the toilet block. I mean, Premier, I suppose we've done it 2 weeks ago. I did phone them again today, about the 3rd time, and she did promise me it would be done along with Peter's Gate in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully we'll watch this space and see whether both those 2 jobs get done. So that'll tidy that area up then, won't it, basically. The notice board issue, I haven't done much about it, only on the basis that we haven't got anything in the budget necessary for this year for a notice board. We're talking about £1,000-ish, probably, by the time it's installed. So it's a subject for the precept discussions, I would suggest, when we talk about them in December, to add that to our budget for replacing in due course. Haven't heard anything about the oak tree, the glebe land, which obviously I sent a letter to the diocese asking them, to have a look at their responsibilities, and also we'd be happy to consider the purchasing of said land. Haven't heard anything from them at all on that. So, car park white lines, Karen Barnes has got it in hand. She's going to get us a contractor quote in due course, once the guy's back from other jobs that he's been contracted to do. And that, I think, covers most of the areas.
Play surface.
Play surface, that's on the agenda later on for discussion. That's on the agenda, as indeed the dog bins are also on there for discussion later on. Which I suppose, I have to say, brings me on to the other matter, which is part of this, I suppose, in a way, because obviously we had the problem with Andy Selway not being able to get at the fencing to do the staining. And as you all know, we had a bit of an incident. I think perhaps a few lessons we can all learn from that, I guess. But the end result was that Mrs. Chadwick, Pauline Chadwick, had her windscreen broken by a flying stone, and she's put in a claim of £304. for that £304.53. And I think what it simply sort of teaches us really is the fact that with the best will in the world, it was done because obviously Jason was not able to do the work when he was originally going to do it, and he phoned me up a week before and said, "Look, I've got a problem with my tools, I can't do it until next week," which is this week. Clearly so he wasn't able to do it. Andy Solway turned up to do the painting, couldn't get at it because the fencing was covered. And I suppose the only thing for me, the problem is that Andy didn't come back to me and say he was due to start the job. He didn't tell me he was going to start the job, because if he had done that, I would have simply told him that Jason was unable to do the work before this week, in which case, could he please leave it another week before he completed the painting on the fencing. And clearly we've got an issue, and obviously when it comes on to payments, we're going to be asking the council to agree a payment of £304.53. But I think what it does show is that contractors must contact one person, and that person has to be me, before they start any job at all, because otherwise there is no control over it at all. I mean, most contractors do. Jason always contacts me whenever he wants to change any arrangements or whether he wants any additional information. Most do, and I understand Andy, because Andy's got a good relationship with John and he tends to deal with John. But on this particular occasion, it was fraught with potentially a disaster, because had that stone damaged a child,